Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Sweetwater Place. It is time for my hysterectomy 3-week update. Hi, everybody. Okay, it is time for a 3-week update on my post-laparoscopic radical hysterectomy. So kind of like a preventative prolapse repair going on as well. Okay, so how am I doing? I'm still sore. I can still encounter a bit of pain depending on the amount of activity I do. So it's just, it'll heal when it heals. And one of the biggest lessons I learned this week was to remember that you're the number one nurse. I'm my number one nurse, and I have to remember my abilities and my limitations and force myself to get off of my feet, 2 or 3 times a day and just horizontal it and lift those feet up and let yourself heal. And it serves 2 purposes. It's like it lets yourself heal more, but it also reminds you that you're still healing, because once you get into like the end of week 2, beginning week 3, you start to feel better. You start to get more energy. You start to do a few more things, and it kind of messes with your mind a little bit because you're not sure what to expect of yourself, and you can very easily push it, and then you end up hurting yourself. And that's kind of what happened to me this week. I kind of pushed it a little bit, and the kids missed one of the harvest fairs we were supposed to go to because I wasn't able to even get out of the house. And now there was one more. We were going to try to make that, which we did, but I didn't realize, yes, there was walking around to do then, but it wasn't as much as I thought it would be. But what happened was the days leading up to the fair, we had other things going on. It was busy, and I was busy trying to find the components for their costumes. And like the night before, we were going to 3 or 4 stores trying to find all the things that we needed for those costumes. So it was kind of like a 2-day thing that I overdid. I overdid it. And then that night at the harvest fair, I was desperately looking for a place to sit down because I really felt like it almost felt like an open wound or something inside. It was really super sore and it was hurting, and I had to sit on the curb somewhere there because and lean back, and I knew then that I had overdone it. So over the next couple of days, I was down for the count, and I had to go back to the 800 ibuprofen. So you think you're doing better, but you still have to take it slow. And I didn't mean to push it like I did, but it happened. So now I've learned, and it's the end of week 3. I'm just going to go into 4, remembering those limitations, and hopefully I'm getting better into week 4, continuing to do that, but I really don't want to push it. And it's really hard for you to stay in the frame of mind where you're not going to push it, because number 1, you're battling those thoughts within yourself, but then also the more you get around other people and functions, and they see you up and about, and their reaction is, wow, it's great. You look animated, you're getting out, you're doing this. You must feel like 100% better. And the expectation that you see from them messes with your mind as well. And you go, well, maybe I am supposed to be further along. Maybe I am supposed to be better. Maybe I am supposed to be doing more things. Do not let that influence you and bother you or get you off track from rest. There's a reason why they say 6 to 8 weeks. You need to take it easy, and this is healing time, because that's the norm. There's those miracle fast track healing stories that you hear that they mess with my mind, because there's people who are like, I had the laparoscopic procedure and I was up in 2 days, 3 days, and I was back at work and I didn't have any pain at all. I didn't have to take any meds. And that's wonderful, but I don't believe it's the norm. So everybody's different. And, I've heard somebody talk about how they were up in 2 or 3 days, but then go on to say, well, I still got fatigued for weeks and had to take a load off and stop, And I thought, well, then you weren't 100%, right? But okay, whatever. So it kind of messes with your mind to hear those stories of fast track healing, because the norm is to let it heal. Internally, it takes that long. So anyway, I learned my lesson on that. I did have an appointment with my doctor, and it was a televisit check-in, and that was for the 2-week check-in, which was on Tuesday, so it was a little bit late. And so I won't see him in person until the 4-week. So probably at the end of next week, I'll go in and see him. But he did show me over the televisit the pictures and some of the report from the pathology report, and we talked about that. And and I just finished my UTI meds, and I'm feeling much better as far as that goes. I did have a UTI for a very long time here, probably like almost the whole time I came home. And I feel a lot better from that. But anyway, back to the pathology report. Both of the ovaries, I was kind of afraid that maybe I probably should have left an ovary. I don't know, for old time's sake or something. I mean, what does the mind do? It just mulls things over. And I'm thinking maybe I should have just kept one, but not after I saw the pictures of these ovaries. One of these ovaries, and I don't mean to be gross in describing them, but this is in fact what they look like. And I'm not going to show you the pictures when I get them, because it is kind of icky. But one of them looked like it had like a hard-boiled egg sitting on it, and it was a cyst, I guess, sitting on that ovary. And quite honestly, that was like my right ovary, and I was getting pains there for a very long time. So I'm wondering if that's what that was all about. And so they took those out, and the lab looked at it and he said it's good, there was no cancer in it, so we don't have to worry about that. And then the left ovary was weird looking too. So he said it's good that we took that out as well. And I saw it was like completely riddled with, it looked like smaller little cysts or tumors, but it looked like it had like chicken pox or something. I mean, it was completely covered in all of this. And he said we looked at that one, and that was not cancerous as well, but it was really too icky to leave it there as well. So they took that one as well. And then my uterus, of course, they took the fallopian tubes and the cervix, but my uterus was actually 4 times as large as it was supposed to be. And that was because of the adenomyosis, the years of bleeding and thickening of those walls, and as well as the fibroids that were in it. And I didn't get the lowdown on exactly how big all of the fibroids were just yet, but I will see that on the pathology report probably next week. So anyway, yeah, there was a big mess in there, and then it was completely cleared off. So that, just knowing that all of that is out feels good, right, on this path to healing. And one thing that I've noticed, and my swelling is coming down. I still have some swelling in there, but it's not like it was at all. And I'm not using my tummy belly band anymore. I'm just wearing my regular leggings. And so the incisions look great. No, not a problem with those. They're sensitive on the outside, and I can feel the pulling on the inside. And the pains are changing, I want to say, because, things are healing. So they're stretching and they're pulling. And then sometimes there's just that ache that's still there. You know what I mean? And I either lay down or take a couple of Tylenol and deal with it. But I noticed that it'll go away in its own time. But I noticed that the bump that I had before in that pelvic area has gone down a bit. So this shirt that I have on now, it's a workout shirt, I'll show you. See how it hangs here? And I have this bit of like curtain hanging right here. It didn't used to do that. This shirt was not like that. It always had, when I put this on, it was always a little tight right here, and there was like a pull, and there was like a bump, and it would pull right here. So there's still there's still a little swelling in here, and I need to lose a few pounds, so I'm working on it. But it's nothing like it was. And I realized that my shirts, I would buy shirts that would be loose in that area because I was so used to having that large uterus just pushing out, and I didn't want to look like I was pregnant, right? But but obviously I looked a little pregnant. But I feel so glad to know that now I can, let me fix this, that I can wear clothes that are going to fit the way that they're supposed to fit, right? And that I don't have to cover up an area because it's pushing right there. And I don't know, it's nice to feel a little more normal, I guess, right? And there's so many years that this has been coming on that I didn't, and I was really self-conscious about it. So I'm kind of glad that bump is, a lot less and that it's gone. But that's one thing. Another thing that I'm noticing, though, is because I had a bump for so long, that the skin is a little looser in that area as well. And that's just what's going to happen is the skin stretches out, and I'm 57, so I really don't think that skin's going to go back, not without help. So, but I'm okay. I'm not complaining about it. It's just I look at it as a battle scar, right? One of the battle scars of life. And it just happens, you know what I mean? So I'm proud of my body and what it's been through, and I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. So anyway, that's the update. Just still take care of yourself, and it's just it's going to take some time. So if you have any questions, let me know and I'll answer them below. Okay, guys, I will see you in the next one. With the sound of music, with songs they have sung.